welcome to the nerdy phase. As you all see, I am back. Last week they failed and tried to do a follow-up episode. I don't know what happened. I'm kidding, guys.
That'd be 2 weeks ago, and well, if you weren't having butthole
2 weeks ago,
surgery,
see,
we wouldn't be having these problems.
That's right.
But hey, we got Tom, Mobile Ninja. He's out there still. Finally fixed his computer so he can go back to spreading managed democracy across the galaxy. I'm sure he's very excited about that.
Hell yeah, brother.
Dagan,
Mm-hmm.
just listening to all his little music things. If you heard his bonus episode from last week, he's our resident audio
Someone's
expert.
got to keep this show going weekly.
Yeah, we did, do apologize for missing 2 weeks. I had to take care of some things and, it's all good. So, but hey, we got these two that carried the torch. Appreciate it. So, but we are in May. You know what May is, right, guys?
It's Star Wars month.
It's gonna be May.
May 4th and Revenge of the 5th. So, did you guys do anything special that day?
I always did Revenge of the 6th, but I feel like Revenge of the 6th just comes off the tongue better. Oh, it's my opinion.
It does, but it's Revenge of the 5th, so I didn't. This is what the culture accepted.
Fifth is official because it's right after.
Yeah,
but Amazon had Revenge of the 6th sale.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's Amazon. They could do whatever. They could do Revenge of the 7th and call it good. So, yeah, I watched Clone Wars, not Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. Sorry.
There's a big difference there.
Yes, there is
a big difference. I watched Attack of the Clones episode 2, and then I watched Revenge of the Sith. I'm an hour into it, so that was on. That's what I did. So, wife and I watched it. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, let's before we discuss the official topic, we're gonna talk about the timeline of TV shows and movies and see how it fits. I may be out of date on a couple of things, but these two can pick up my slack, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But what nerdy thing have you guys done this week? I mean, I can start since you guys, since I'm back,
Yeah.
I finally beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Finally. 97 hours for this game. I'll tell you what, near the end, I'm just like, fuck, I'm done. I just want to beat this game. And I just felt like the last 2 chapters just dragged ass. It was like the final boss fight, there's no reason why it should have taken me 2 hours to beat. It was just a boss fight after a boss fight after a boss fight. It was stupid. And if you quit the main menu, you have to start that boss fight all over. So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna do it. It was. I didn't really like it. Oh, Echo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can't turn mine
Too
on.
close.
I don't know who it is.
I don't hear any echo.
No.
Oh, so
Am I
it's probably
echoing?
coming off of. So if I'm hearing it, if Serge isn't hearing it, Serge, you hearing echo or no?
No.
Okay. Well, considering I'm hearing echo Serge twice, that means it'd probably be Dagan then. I don't know. So.
Oh.
I don't know. This is just my guess.
Okay.
But I'm hearing
It's cool.
That's all I know. I'm hearing echo. So
as long as it records fine, I don't care what you hear.
Okay, fine.
I'm
Fuck
just
you
saying.
too. All right. Yeah.
Deal with
But
it.
yeah,
Double search.
Yeah.
If you guys ever played the OG Final Fantasy VII?
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
a long
that
time
game was
ago,
only-
I don't think I ever beat it, but
Well, if they beat the whole game, it's 3 discs long. It's a 40-hour game.
yeah.
Okay, so this isn't even finished. The Rebirth is 97 hours, and it still has a whole nother thing to do.
Yeah, but how much did it cost? Was it a $60 game?
That was a $70 game.
Well, there you go. They're padded out to get your money's worth.
Oh, I mean, I think it was worth the money. Well, it was all right. I like the remake better. I was a little bit disappointed in this one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but if you paid $70, it was only like 30 hours long. You'd be like, I feel a little gypped.
That's true. Very true. But
what you described of the just boss after boss, that just sounds like every Final Fantasy game at the end.
No, there's some that are a little bit different. Like this one had like 20 boss fights. No, I'm just exaggerating.
Oh.
It had like 7 or so.
Yeah, some make you go find the extra boss fights. Go.
But the thing is that they convoluted the storyline too. I'm not going to really ruin anything, but they kind of what's the popular topic nowadays with comic books and movies and all that stuff?
Oh no, is it multiverse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a multiverse. So it was kind of stupid. I don't like that because but they did a lot of fan service because the character Zach, he dies whatever, but you never play him. Well, Cloud and Zach near the end, one of the next to the last boss, they fight Seth Roth, and it's just fan service. Like if they fight alongside each other for their first time ever, even though you see him in the background, it was just fan service. I think.
Yeah,
I didn't really like that, but then I started playing a Yuden Chronicles 100 Hero War. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the game Suikoden.
Oh, Suikoden.
It was for PlayStation 2, and then PlayStation 2. They had it was by Konami. They did a 5 games. The unique thing about that game is they typically had 3 forms of combat. They had like a 1-on-1 combat, an army combat, and then just your typical turn-based RPG combat with 6 people. 4 if you played the 4th one. But the unique thing about that game is you essentially rebel against a certain country, and you can recruit multiple characters. Like and each one is 108 characters. Some have combat, some don't. So, but yeah. So,
okay.
But anyways, that's what I did this week. Nothing really special. And then I watched some Star Wars, but we'll get
Yeah,
it's all good.
I watched some Star Wars this week. The new Tales of the Empire came out on I think May the 4th.
May the 4th, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just 6 17, 16-minute episodes. So it's pretty short, but very interesting. So
it's similar to Tales of the Jedi, right? But except it's Empire side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same concept, just some short stories kind of telling you like what else is going on in the universe and whatnot. But yeah, no, it's good stuff. I enjoyed it.
I'll probably watch it. I've been watching Bad Batch. I'm like middle of 2nd season.
Bad Batch pretty good.
Oh, you're still second season?
I'm still 2nd season. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more Clone Wars.
I can't get into it. X-Men. I'm up to date on X-Men 97 though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's kind of hit or miss on the episodes. It took me a long time to get through season 3 of Bad Batch. The first few episodes were just slow, and then luckily somebody at work was like, "Hey, have you finished Bad Batch yet? Have you seen the finale?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." Fine, go back and see it. And then finally, the next episode, I saw Ventress return. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Ventress!"
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to watch it.
She's dead per the canon books. But I guess they decided to bring her back for whatever reason. So
it doesn't matter. Maybe there's a multiverse. Actually, there is a multiverse in Star Wars, but whatever.
Yeah.
Are there canon books anymore?
No, there's still
we'll
canon
talk about
books.
that later.
Oh, okay.
There's this one per.
I thought they just nixed all the books.
Oh yeah, I guess I got to double check on when this book came out, but I'm 95% sure that this book is
the
canon.
Acolyte. No,
it was
Dark
an Acolyte.
Disciple. Was it Acolyte or Dark Disciple?
Definitely not Acolyte. It could have been Dark Disciple.
I think it was Dark Disciple where she got killed.
Yeah, because she was hanging out with...
I read it a long time ago. I just don't remember.
Yeah, she was hanging out with Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
So.
But anyways, so other than that, watch the newest episode of My Hero Academia as well. That new season just started.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of that.
Get to meet the great American heroes Star and Stripe.
Yeah, that's pretty. Did she fight yet? Did she display her power or not? Yeah,
very very unique power.
It is. It's just it's rules based within her atmosphere. I know that.
Yeah, they go through the whole how it works and everything. So
I read some of the manga.
Yeah, No, it's based
I
on
don't.
like she has to like say its name and be able to like touch it, and then she can assign it a rule.
Yeah, that's cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
And she uses she has a very unique way of fighting and a very American way of fighting. So
America.
Yeah.
See, and that's until she came in, like they made it seem like All Might was the number one hero, but he was the number one hero in Japan.
In Japan, yeah. Although, I mean, she clearly says like she looks up to All Might, so she's like a disciple of his.
So,
That's a show I
speaking of
keep
anime,
talking about wanting to go see, and I have yet to start
which
that
one? My Hero?
Yeah, My Hero. I've heard nothing
It's
but good
good.
stuff. Yeah,
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's getting long at this point. If you're going to start it, you better get on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched this since its inception. It looked interesting. I was just finding something to watch, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" And I got hooked.
Because I'm pretty sure
So I watched
it's
it before.
on
It's
Hulu,
cool.
right?
Hulu and Netflix now, actually.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, they both got some, I think.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't have all of it, but Netflix has a
Probably
lot
the
of
first
stuff.
couple
Netflix
seasons.
is interesting. Yeah. Have you watched Kaiju number 8?
No.
It's really good. It's one that just released. I'm 2 episodes behind, but it's pretty good. So I've been trying to watch it with my son Grayson, and he's like, "Oh my god, Dad, I love this blood." It's like, Mom won't let me watch this. I'm like, I don't care. It's blood. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know how you are with Arlo.
He's 5. He's a little young still.
I let my kid watch Demon Slayer. So
Okay, so it looks like there's the movie Two Heroes, and then there's the TV show, which is just
yeah, they have 3 movies. Two Heroes, Heroes Rising, and World Heroes Mission.
But yeah, Netflix is just Two Heroes.
No, that's all I got.
Okay,
I'll get more. Maybe not.
but Hulu should have the series dubbed. It was simulcast on Hulu.
Okay,
So it should have it, or Disney Plus. I mean, if you haven't seen it, Hulu's not completely. It's pretty much completely integrated with Disney Plus.
so you still have to pay extra for it, though, right?
I don't know. I just have whatever Verizon gives me, and I have it all.
I think they're figuring that out still. I think the plan is probably to charge more for it, but
Probably.
Yeah. Well, let me look it up real quick.
I have the
as well, 'cause
premium
I gotta
plan
watch it.
because I have whatever I'm grandfathered to a plan Verizon had, and they gave out the premium plan of Disney for free. So that's what I still have.
Nope, you gotta
But-
pay extra for the. Okay.
Yeah, I just
yeah.
got lucky then.
So for
So.
my nerd stuff, finally got my computer back up and running. So that's fantastic. So we
bet.
did a lot of testing on my computer. Come to find out, it wasn't cooling because I was looking for CPU usage. I wasn't thinking to look for temperature because my computer didn't die at all. Like my computer never just shut down. So that's like the key indicator. Oh, your CPU is probably overheating. Maybe we should go check that. It seemed like it was more like a memory leak issue. And I did test my RAM, and it did show 2 of my sticks were bad. So removed those. I removed a few hard drives. Did this, did that. And nothing was fixing it. So finally, I took it over to my cousin's house just because I was getting frustrated. I just want somebody else to look at it before I started breaking something. And we did all the tests I already did. Not everything was fine. And then just for kicks and giggles, he ran something and showed the temp on it, and it was showing like 113 degrees Celsius. I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to be that hot, especially without shutting down.
Toasty.
Yeah. So instead
sucks.
of a water cooler, I've got a tower fan cooler. It's something 12, 120E, something assassin. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, got some RGBs on it, so I can let my rainbow freak flag fly, because that's what you got to do. All the rainbows.
As long as it works.
Yeah, indeed. As long as it works is all that matters. But if you could buy 2 things for the same price, one's RGB, one's not, might as well go RGB.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, always go RGB.
Oh yeah. So there's that, and then we did go have a little family camp out this weekend for Scouts, so that was fun. Went to some place that was like 15 minutes away. Almost chopped my thumb off. The funny thing is with the axe, I didn't hit my thumb with the axe. I hit my thumb with the wood. So, it's nothing too bad, but it was nice and swollen the other day. And then today,
Idiot.
yeah, right. Today I finally finished the Empire show. Tales of the Empire.
Yeah.
So I've got it was good. I didn't really care that much all about the stories. You
Please
know,
turn off all cell phones.
Right?
Shut it.
Yeah, so I'm not loving the overall story of it, but they definitely had their moments, a few beats during it that I'm like, oh shit, of course bringing Thrawn in, but we already know that
Yeah.
story and how all that stuff played out, so I don't really know why they brought that
Thrawn
one
is
in.
a god.
Yeah, Thrawn is a god. But now of course the stuff with Barriss, oh, that's good. So
Barriss stuff.
That's what I'm most interested in, just to see why she did it, because in the Clone Wars it just comes out of nowhere.
yeah,
It's like, what? Okay.
and her
Didn't see
story
this
still
coming.
isn't really concluded after this one. We just have more questions. So
That sucks.
yeah,
But
they leave plenty of holes to be filled in later.
giggity.
so I guess nerd news, right? So
Oh, so Sony
I
trying
don't
to
know.
wreck Game of the Year.
I don't think Helldivers would be Game of the Year.
Yeah, people's choice.
I don't even think that either, honestly.
Now, what else do you think it's going to be?
Right now, I'm not real sure. At first I thought it'd be close to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but with sales of that slacking, I don't think that'll be Game of the Year.
If it doesn't get Game of the Year, it's because of political things and not because of overall sales. Because really, your Game of the Year should be how many sales did it make?
That doesn't count.
I know it doesn't, but that's what it should be. Should be how many sales should be reoccurring players,
right?
And it being a new game coming out. You know
what the best-selling game last year was?
What?
The best-selling game of 2023 last year was Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, but what was the player retention?
It was high because the
people who played it.
Yeah,
it was a high player retention. It was a huge game. The thing is, for what it got nominated for no categories, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been. Which tells me again, you kind of see how they score it, but part of it has to be political. I know a lot of people, even though it was a pretty good game, it got a lot of hate in terms of I would say your mainstream media, just due to people not liking what's her face, J.K. Rowling. That's my vote on why.
Yeah,
why it didn't get
that's
anywhere.
That's probably true, but it had nothing to do with that game. Had nothing to do with JK.
It didn't. But it's not a. It you have to realize.
In fact, JK
a lot of people aren't
not
very
happy
smart.
With that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People see, Harry Potter, we're going to get political over dumb things, and then boom. Mm-hmm. So that's my guess on why it didn't get any things because of that. But I would say if Helldivers doesn't get either Game of the Year or People's Choice, again, it would have to be political because it's got everybody, it's got the purchases, it's got the reoccurring players, it's got the retention of players.
I mean, the recurring players have gone down.
Well, it has gone down. Everything's gone down.
Yeah,
but compared to other games, though,
right? It still hasn't passed the number 1 and number 2, or coming even close to it. Which number 1 recurring players of all time on Steam is PUBG, and the number 2, believe it or not, is Power World now. But Power World has died off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's something with the Helldivers. I've never seen a game just hit every nook and cranny of the internet so hard. I never heard of it, and I was getting fed it on Facebook and Twitter and everything. Mm-hmm. Not Twitter.
Yeah,
Twitter.
It got. They went harder with that game, and I think it's a fantastic game. But just games like that just don't win Game of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I can understand if it doesn't win, but it's going to hit something. So now that being said, the reason why it hit everything is I think a prime example of what the actual news is because of it. So pretty much Sony wanted to make sure that everybody had a sign in for PlayStation, which honestly I don't really care either way about it. I signed up day one whenever I purchased it. But I can understand the issue in terms of if you live in a region where it's not available, then of course it's going to be shitty if they stop you being able to play because you can't get a PlayStation, which at that point in time, why can't you just region, all right, if you're in this region, you don't need it. If you're in the United States or something, then you need, I can't imagine it would have been that hard to do, but whatever, I'm no IT engineer or anything. So, but the fan base came together very quickly and very hard.
Yeah. They managed some democracy onto Sony.
Oh, God, they managed that democracy so fucking hard. So pretty much everyone in and started saying, nope, this game sucks. At least on Steam and other platforms, they started down ranking the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah, and within 48 hours, because I think the release was supposed to be today when you're supposed to start signing into the PlayStation account.
Yeah,
they released a statement. What was the official statement from? I've got it right here. Helldivers fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6th update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players and for current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward. And that was directly from their PlayStation's X account. So, it's, and I think it was a Helldiver developer, so an Arrowhead developer who was like, you guys got to realize this is a game all about coming together and competing goals. What did you guys do? You guys came together and completed a goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, really, really good example of a fan base coming together to say, hey, that's not right.
Yeah.
People everybody here in the United States, we were fine. We can sign into PlayStation. I mean, it's the principle of the matter, but it said you had to, right on the store page. It's requires PlayStation account. Day one, they had it, and they rolled it back just because of some technical issues, and they didn't want to have a bad launch.
You know who else tried to do something like that, and it killed them. Basically, Microsoft. Remember when the Xbox One first came out? It was required for you to have internet to play the Xbox.
Oh, yeah. I remember all that
Microsoft
bullshit.
does that every time they release something. Then you had to have their stupid eye.
It killed them. And it was yeah, you got to have internet. And, we're not doing indie games. Indie games suck. And, yeah, you got to have internet because DRM.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sony comes out. No internet required. We love indie games. Goodbye, Xbox One. PlayStation 4 dominated.
Did you guys see that cape they're talking about? They're probably not actually going to, but God, I'd be so happy if they did it. Hold on, let me find it.
Oh, the downvote cape? Yes. Yes. I need it.
I just gotta play more, and I'll probably do Thursdays or Fridays. I mean, if you do Fridays, that'll be better. But I could probably do Thursdays, or I'm just doing 2 days a week. So Sunday or Monday, whatever we do this podcast, or Thursday, Friday, whichever one. So no, I'll probably stream single player on Saturday mornings. Mm-hmm. So
that's a
maybe some Saturday nights. It just depends. I'll probably play Saturday nights as well, possibly. So,
yeah.
Saturdays are depending on stuff. That'll be my day. So, but you see that Jeff Bridges is coming back for Tron, the third Tron movie. That's kind of cool.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm a huge Tron fan. It's not really Tron without him. So,
no. And I guess the Knuckles got good reviews and whatnot, so it's good.
I watched all of it with my son. It's adequate.
I still haven't seen Sonic 2.
Sonic 2's good.
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I know he goes Super Saiyan, but
yeah. And you get Tails, and you get Knuckles.
Yeah. So,
but Knuckles was good. There's a lot of the goofy side character cop Wade. He's the main sidekick to Knuckles.
Yeah,
so it's a lot of adult man-child shenanigans ensue. The bad guy wasn't great, but it's pretty hard to beat, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, so
yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
So tough shoes to follow in, so the bad guy was just kind of
Sonic's villain is Eggman every time, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Knuckles though, it was just some random dude basically.
That's what he was in the game Sonic 3, just some random dude.
Yeah.
He just pops out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
who are you? Knuckles the Enchilada.
The
Echidna, sorry.
enchilada.
Enchilada. It's the Mexican Knuckles, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Now, Sonic Prime was good. I don't know if you've seen that. As far as that, if you want to watch a show with your kid, if he's into Sonic.
We watched some Sonic Prime together.
Sonic Prime, it was legit. I liked it. So, but do we have any other news to report?
No, that's about it.
That was about it for news. It's a pretty slow news week. Just Helldivers, the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is, I'm glad they reversed it because that would suck.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
you shouldn't have to make anyone do that.
Well, there were so many people that's like, well, I could buy the game on Steam. I've been playing it for like a month or two. Like I've got 100 hours in the game, and now I like my country. I can't get a PlayStation account. It's just not in my country. And then they're like, "Can I get a refund?" They're like, "No, you played past the 2 hour limit. Sorry."
And that's Steam doing that though.
Yeah,
Helldivers.
Yeah, well,
that's Steam.
But because Sony was requiring it, now all of a sudden the game they bought that they've been playing, that although technically said, but it should have been blocked in that region already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and Sony was going in and adding region restrictions to sales because they're like, oh shoot, yeah, we probably can't sell these in all these countries because there's no PlayStation Network support.
Yeah, sucks to be
a lot of people that already bought it, so
I don't think any game should be required online unless it's like a battle royale or something like that.
I can see them doing like, you got to have the Sony account to like make playing with friends like easier, smoother, and without it, yeah, you're kind of stuck with randos or solo. Like that would suck, but I get without having that like PlayStation Network like backbone for the multiplayer.
The games like Outriders, things like that. I don't think that should require like there should be a single player campaign. Like Titanfall started that whole thing where it was required online. So, which sucks. But
God, I gotta pause the show for his vape.
That's so funny.
Lord.
Yeah, well, you should check out Kaiju number 8. It's really cool.
Look it up.
It's you know what kaiju are, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's about this guy who's like, he wanted to be in the kaiju extermination, but he ended up not doing it, and he cleans up the mess after the kaiju team, extermination team, kills kaijus.
Yeah, I think I've seen like the trailer for it. It looked pretty interesting.
So, it's pretty good. I mean, like I'm only like 2 episodes in, so I mean I'm 2 episodes behind because I just Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm telling you, that's been my focus. I'm like, I gotta finish this game. So every free chance I got, with the exception of these past 2 weeks, that's what I did. So although I forgot to mention, I've been deep into Stardew Valley again. My wife and I have been playing.
I've been seeing you two on a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Surge's on Stardew Valley. Yeah.
Have you played that game? Don't judge.
They're not my thing. I mean, I see why people love it.
But here's the thing: I hate those games. Like, I've tried different ones after Stardew Valley. I'm like, I just don't like it.
Having a partner to play with helps a lot.
No, here's the thing: I put 150 hours by myself without her.
Shame. You should be ashamed.
This is the first. We've tried both. We've tried partner games before, and we just end up going back to our own game because we just want to play when we were playing when each other weren't home. But now we have a dual farm a double farm that we've been doing together, which is gonna be our big thing now. But still,
what game are you guys talking about?
This Stardew Valley. I forgot. Should have said that from another thing because I've been playing the shit ton out of that game. As you can see, if you see Stardew Valley, I'm on with my wife.
Yeah, I've been playing Fallout 4 since my PC's been down, but that'll be a little.
Yeah, I've noticed that it shows you you've been on Fallout 4 on sometimes on Discord. It shows you.
Yeah, it shows you on mobile. It shows you on your phone.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Weird. I didn't realize it was going to translate over there. Oh, that's probably why John's been
Okay.
all up my ass saying it's like, oh yeah, you don't even care about your fixing computer. You don't want to play with your friends. You just want to, you've got a game you could play, so you don't even care right now. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't play that much. I only play at night.
So cool thing. Before we on Mark, I'm glad I waited to did not buy Jedi Survivor. It's on Game Pass. So I have it on Xbox Game Pass. So that's cool.
I'll snag it on like winter sale for like 50% off.
Yeah, well, I do Game Pass for multiple reasons. One, I have it on my PC, so I have access to all the unlimited games, and then my kids have an Xbox Series S, so it's a good way for them to play different games. It's only $15 a month. It's no big deal.
If you get an Xbox, it's good.
All right,
but let's do this.
Ready? Anyway, so I don't even know what we were talking about before Tom left to get his vape.
Yeah, and some chocolate milk.
And some chalky milk. Oh man, got that chalky milk.
Yeah, got some chalky
milk and chicken nuggies.
No chicken nuggies, just chalky milk.
No blue milk. We need blue milk. I mean, why didn't you bring up blue milk? That would have been perfect for this.
That would have been, but that would have cost money. And I had milk and I had chocolate syrup. However, the best way to make chocolate milk, though, like honestly, the best way to mix anything drink wise is a milk frother. Like, get a milk frother, even if you're not planning on frothing milk. Just get a fucking milk frother.
Just do it. Do it.
You know, you should
mix your coffee, mix your drinks. Shit those fucking those water enhancers. Oh yeah,
dude,
boom.
Just get white milk and then blue food coloring, and then mix it. You got blue milk.
Well, we're past that part of the conversation. We're talking about milk frothers mixing everything.
But Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars. I think we're gonna hit the official timeline between the TV shows and movies. We're not gonna touch books. That's a whole nother animal. So we're not gonna really touch
no books, no games.
Yeah, no games.
Just go watch it on your TV.
Yeah, watching your TV. We might hit some things as far as like cool characters and whatnot, but we got 3 more episodes, maybe a few bonus episodes of doing this. Star Wars month.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, so TV shows. If I'm like you, so we'll play some, and more movies. So
I guess we should have gone over. So, do we want to go over chronological order on movies and TV shows? Do we want to talk about TV shows then movies? Do we want to go on the theatrical release? Like, where are we going here?
We can do both. We can do both.
I feel like that's
let's go through a Star Wars timeline.
So canonical timeline.
So
let's start with movies first. Let's go with movies.
Just go whatever comes first.
Let's go just in timeline.
Yeah, timeline first. Timeline. So what comes first? What's the earliest Star Wars thing you can watch right now? Do you know?
That would be Star Wars the Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi would be, because that's Ahsoka when she's born.
So, and you've got...
There's earlier than that we can watch.
Yeah, you've got...
What's earlier than that?
So, Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, which is a stupid little cartoon for kids, technically takes place in the High Republic.
Yeah.
So
it takes place... Yeah, the Old Republic, the High Republic, because they're gonna show Starlight Citadel.
Yeah, touche on that one. I'm not saying that one doesn't count. I mean,
I guess it does.
I'm looking at the official StarWars.com timeline.
No,
and it is on there.
You're correct in terms of it counts, but I'm just saying in terms of things happening in a grand scale of things, in terms of what's happening and affecting, I guess it's more reactive than it's more like what do you call that? It's not consequential to
Tom. It just counts.
The timeline.
I mean,
it's got Bright Star.
Yes, it is.
You see some things that technically don't exist when you hit like even Phantom Menace because it's just that much earlier.
Yeah.
You get to see a little of that. You don't see a lot. It's not a great thing, the High Republic, but
so okay.
Hopefully we'll see more because the new show, The Acolyte, when it comes out, it will be set in the High Republic.
Yes.
Yeah. So so we'll do Jedi Young Adventures and then Tales of the Empire, Tales of the
Jedi. Which we're going to start off. I think the earliest is going to be younger Qui-Gon and
Count Dooku.
Yeah.
which is also a really cool storyline. I really like how why Count Dooku did what he did.
Mhm.
So I think we'll get into that later, but I don't think Count Dooku was a complete Sith.
No, he was
personally.
Yeah, I could agree with that. He was, because for one,
he didn't have he didn't have the traditional yellow eyes, which all of them have.
Yeah, well,
So,
he just didn't get down, because I think up until Phantom Menace, he wasn't looking to go down the evil path. I think he was very much a gray type Jedi in terms of like the Force was telling him, this is objective good, this is objective evil, we need to take care of this. And then, unfortunately, due to certain circumstances and killing of Yaddle, that kind of sealed his pathway down the dark side. But even during episode 2, I feel like if Obi-Wan would have actually shut the fuck up and listened to him, there would have been a possibility that they could have ended all of the series events right then and there. But nope.
Yeah, because he was saying right there, like, join me, we can take care of the Sith Lord. I know who he is. And I'm pretty sure Dooku would have turned against Palpatine there and then.
Well, because, Dooku's whole thing was he wanted to see that the Jedi Order was going to be good, but he couldn't see them being good anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He saw the flaws.
Yeah. And Qui-Gon was similar to him, just in the opposite direction.
I wouldn't even say opposite. I just feel like he was probably just a little more...
He would have been
morally absolute.
Yeah. He would have been the first gray Jedi if they let him live, which I think it's stupid that he died, but that's whatever.
Well, I wouldn't even say the first gray Jedi. I think, so gray Jedi, in canon officially doesn't exist. However, though, the colloquial gray Jedi is anybody who doesn't follow the Jedi Order. They don't follow the Sith. They're not, they're not selfish. They're strictly... they listen to the Force. It's like, not trying
which
to get
Banthu or Banthu.
It's kind of like, you've got, I would say the Jedi Order is almost like, Roman Catholic religion, in terms of the fact that, like, yes, you've got Jesus, you've got God, all these kind of things, but the church, big capital C, the church, is a big structured where they're taking the money and doing this. Not everything that they're doing is good, obviously. South Park pointed a few of those things out, but
everything has rules.
Anybody who is sitting down and say reading the Bible and actually going out and doing good work, those would be like the type of gray Jedi in terms of this. So it's the people on the council and everything. They're so worried about politics and everything else that they're not getting down to the root of being a Jedi, which is listening to the Force and doing good. So that is anybody who is a gray Jedi.
Them gay Jedi.
A gray Jedi is anybody who is strictly listening to the Force, and that's it. Which would have been
but
him, Ahsoka. I think Dooku would have been if he didn't get himself stuck in those situations.
Yeah. So Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, then Episode 1.
I wouldn't say Tales of the Empire.
Is that later on?
Tales of the Empire,
that happens.
So Tales of the
late
Jedi is
Clone Wars, and even goes after the fall of the Republic.
So it'll be Episode 1, then Episode 2, then Clone Wars, the TV series.
Yep, Clone Wars.
Yeah, basically the whole prequel happens.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. So then I know what the official timeline says, because then they're gonna place Episode 3, right? Then Solo, then Rogue One. Where the Solo place? Where they put it before Episode 3?
So they have the official timeline states that basically the prequel, so Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith, including the Clone Wars series, is in an era called the Fall of the Jedi. So the Jedi on their downfall. So the Republic still exists, but the Jedi are no longer the glorious thing they used to be. And so they start out putting like Solo and Rogue One.
Will the Solo fall after Episode 3?
Yes.
Well, yeah, Solo's definitely after Episode 3.
Well,
the Empire exists.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing that throws me off with the whole thing. like so like at the very end of Solo, Darth Maul appears,
Correct.
and during
Yeah.
that time, Darth Maul is still he's ruling the underground.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
where was he looking? It looked like he was in Mandalore.
Yeah, he's
So-
robot leg Darth Maul at that point.
Well, yeah, but he's in Mandalore now. Before, I mean, obviously when Darth Sidious, by the way, that's one of my favorite fights in Clone Wars when Darth Sidious just senses Darth Maul's return and just goes
Like,
and kicks
ooh.
his ass.
Mhm.
Yeah, can't have that.
Yeah, like Sidious kills Savage and like tells Maul, "Be my bitch, or I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But he pretty much ends up working for Sidious indirectly right there, so he's in charge of the whole pretty much black market underground, criminal underground.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's crime lord.
And so, but it looks like when he was contacted by that Kira, is that her name? Yeah,
Yeah.
Kira. It looked like he was still on Mandalore.
So
He was taken off Mandalore by Ahsoka right at the end of the Clone Wars, where she took Captain Rex and the rest of the 501.
So you got to keep in mind, Rebels ended because that's when Maul officially died. Was probably 2 or 3 years before Episode 4.
Right.
Mhm.
Before Rogue One.
Yeah. Before Rogue One,
Now
yeah.
you gotta realize the final season of Clone Wars happens after Episode 3.
Right. But
So
where
the end
she
of Clone
goes,
Wars starts out into the reign
but
of the
see,
Empire.
in the beginning of when Ahsoka is recruited back with Captain Rex, Order 66 is happening right there, and so she's trying to get the inhibitor chip out of Rex while Darth Maul's in captivity. And he's trying to fight Order 66, and then they release Maul to help Rex and Ahsoka fight off the clone troopers
Mhm.
with Order 66. So
Yeah, then he
So
gets
all I'm hearing is
free.
that Solo was a really bad movie.
Solo was a really bad movie,
Solo,
but like
I liked it.
I didn't really like it that much.
I
I've
didn't
seen it
like
only
it either.
once.
It was fun. Like, I mean, of course, I'm always the one. Oh, at least it was fun. Like, I don't know. I don't think it
I
hurt.
have a Solo cup that I got from Alamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
there was parts that were good, but then you realize it's like, oh, the reason the Millennium Falcon can do the Kessel Run is because it has the robot brains of Lando Calrissian's, like, weird robot navigator, like, lover in its brains now.
I mean,
and that's just part of its... It's just... I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a lot of very fantastical stuff in Solo that I was just like, I don't know. I don't care
Donald
for
Glover
this.
did make a good Lando, though.
He did,
100%.
yeah.
Good Lando. That was
They
The
didn't
rest
bring
of
that-
it,
fine.
the
They
rest
didn't
of the
bring
people
that
were
show
terrible.
in. They're
But yeah,
teasing
so
it.
that's
but
what I'm saying. So like, the timeline says Solo takes place after Episode 3.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But-
and it does because that's where he meets
Yeah,
Chewie
where are
in
you
an
confused
Imperial
about that?
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
but
Maul is in the wrong
Maul.
spot.
Maul is in the wrong spot. That's what I'm saying. That at that time, Maul was taken away, and Maul is he's not in control of the criminal underground anymore at that point.
Well, why do we
He's
think
just
he's on
searching for the Sith
Mandalore?
holocron.
Why do we think he's on Mandalore at that point?
Well, because
The timelines,
during that time, he was in control of the criminal underground. That's what Sidious wanted him to do.
Yeah.
When
I mean, there's
Ahsoka,
it could take
I mean,
place in
unless he
like a
continued.
very specific, like 1 year time span where like it's in the middle and it's fine. Like it's
Yeah.
within the realm of being right.
Yeah,
right?
because
But it's
Rebels
just that one
happens closer.
controversial thing.
Rebels happens closer to, I would say, Episode 4 than it does Episode 3 in general. So that being said, because that's where he dies at is as during Rebels. So yeah, for 4, 5, 10 years after Episode 3, yeah, he could have been off doing the underworld stuff. And then eventually he decided to go off. I guess he might have felt something in the Force to go lead him elsewhere to go look for the holocrons and eventually go look for Luke and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, no, his whole thing was just Obi-Wan. That was his sole focus.
Well, yeah,
he didn't care about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
The timeline, it could work. Solo wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that good a movie.
Yeah, it could work, I guess. But the thing is, when Solo came out, Season 7 of Clone Wars wasn't a thing yet. And the other thing too, the other part we hear about what Ahsoka did was during the Ahsoka book, which, if I'm correct, that wasn't out at the time either. But we're not getting into books. But the prelude in the Ahsoka book tells you about the thing with Rex that she did in season 7.
Yeah.
With the
And here's
Clone
another
Wars.
thing we're not talking about. Did Dave Filoni didn't have anything to do with Solo, did he?
No.
No.
See, that's the Clone Wars and Ahsoka. That's his baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Filoniverse, which within Star
With
Wars.
Rebels.
Yeah,
Rebels,
So,
Clone
Rogue One.
Wars,
all the live
Rogue
action
One
stuff.
fits in very nice, but
Yeah.
So then we'll go Solo Rogue One, right? Is that where we're going? No.
It's
Solo
like
Rebels.
Solo Rebels. Andor's in there too because
Mhm.
Andor has to come before Rogue One.
Yeah.
Andor. That's why I haven't finished Andor either. I'm on like episode 6.
Jesus.
Andor's really good. It's a different vibe.
boring.
That's that Star Wars hat. Let's take it off. You don't deserve it.
I mean, Andor just sets up Rogue One, and it also sets up what a douche the Empire is to just random people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight though. The Empire brought peace throughout the galaxy.
Order. He brought order.
Order, peace. I mean, they're very interjectable.
But
So-
did it? Because the Empire wasn't around that long before the Rebels started to rise.
Yep.
Well, those rebels they just didn't like the way they did things.
Yeah,
you know?
degenerates.
I can't believe it. Like, for example, what other people, what other organization brought Alderin's employment rate to 0?
Unemployment rate? Yeah, true.
And employment rate. It brought both to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely no poverty. Yeah,
There was not.
unemployment
they
rate
took care of
0.
business.
Poverty rate 0. Homeless rate 0.
So, but
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Rebels here, okay? Okay, I will say, and this could be a hot take, it could be controversial and stuff like that. I think Rebels is the best one in the TV shows.
No.
Animated
No.
wise.
It's Clone
It
Wars.
has great moments, but
I
as
like
a whole,
Rebels.
no.
Once you get to season 2, Rebels is just fantastic.
Rebels is great. Rebels
should
has
watch
fantastic moments.
The Cosmonaut variety show. I mean, obviously, you shouldn't watch other people's content to make you form your own opinion, but Cosmonaut variety show has a really good breakdown on what makes Clone Wars so much better than Rebels.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, I get it, but if you start with Clone Wars, we did miss something. Clone Wars. So did you lump in the movie Clone Wars with the TV series, or
it's
that separate?
TV series? Yeah,
I don't think the
movie
weird
takes
cartoon,
place before.
The weird
No,
cartoon.
not the micro
not
series.
not the cartoon.
Okay.
The actual
They
hour
had the
and a
movie
half.
release,
feature
before the Clone Wars. It was the Clone Wars the movie.
Oh,
It's where
he
Ahsoka
met
gets
Ahsoka and finally had
snips.
him.
yeah.
Yeah, they went and went to they had something with Jabba's kid or something. It was kind of a weird storyline, but
yeah.
So that is.
I mean,
part
it's Clone Wars.
Yeah, it's Clone Wars.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two different things, kinda, not really, but
It's
it's
continuation. It's
So-
the feature length movie to go into the TV series.
Yeah.
So here's what I think about Clone Wars. I mean, Clone Wars had like we said with Rebels had its moments. Clone Wars, there was a bunch of arcs that I'm just like, ugh, really? Why are we doing this? Like the whole arc with the that stupid little guy where he's disguised as a robot and he's taking other robots thing. That was such a boring arc.
Okay, yeah.
Some arcs with
So I mean, it's an anthology.
it's an anthology, yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of those episodes, one didn't happen in order.
No, I know that.
Yeah, so and because it's an anthology, yeah, some of the story arcs were less interesting than others. But I would say if we were going to put it, throw it up on a wall and put it on a chart, I would say more Clone Wars story arcs had more relevancy to the overall greater picture, in terms of just the story and universe building than Rebels did.
Yeah. The Clone Wars has, it's the lore that the Clone Wars, like, creates and shows you echoes through, like, every series after that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have
Oh,
Mandalorian
yeah.
without Clone Wars. You wouldn't have Ahsoka
Mhm.
without Clone Wars. Parts of even, like, the Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. Parts
So
of that lore is explained in the Clone Wars.
yeah, no, I get that.
And also, you
I
got to
just
think Clone
think
Wars
Rebels is better.
is twice as long as Rebels.
I just think Rebels
Your
is better.
opinion is you enjoy watching it more, but I would say
Rebels is just more condensed, so they just cut out all the filler
first
episodes.
Off, I like Rebels. It brought Thrawn in, which was
Thrawn's good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so Clone
it gave
Wars.
you a
Clone
more-
Wars explains the Darksaber.
The books did a better job.
The Darksaber, yeah.
That's Clone Wars. Clone Wars explains
Well,
Force
Clone Wars
ghosts.
Clone Wars doesn't really explain the Darksaber.
It shows you the whole history of it.
Yeah, kinda. But
Yeah,
they don't talk about the Mandalorian War. That's talked about in Rebels, where he's training with Sabine.
Yeah.
They touch on it, I think, but
No,
Yeah,
they
they
go into
just
the whole like you
the
have to have
fighting
it.
part. Yeah. So,
But it also explains the ones. It explains the prophecy. It explains Force ghosts.
the Ghost of Mortis, Force Ghost, that was all good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Clone Wars wasn't good. I mean, I think Rebels, in my opinion, is just slightly better.
Subjectively,
as far as
you enjoyed watching it more. Objectively, Clone Wars was better.
Yes. You're saying Clone Wars was just it had too much filler, too much, kind of more boring. But it's like I said, it's twice as long.
Right.
You just cut out the episodes that were just filler, basically, like the one you cited. If you just cut that out as filler and condense it down to all the good arcs, Clone Wars is better.
Now, okay, so let's see here. So then, Rebels, Rogue One, right?
Rebels, yeah.
And then it goes 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and then it does that stupid show, which I never seen, Star Wars Resistance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, Dagan has official.
Okay,
but Resistance wasn't next.
No.
Yeah.
So Rogue One marks the end of the reign of the Empire, and then we go into the original Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4. That's the Age of Rebellion. So 4, 5, and 6 take place in the Age of Rebellion,
right?
And that's it that takes place. And then after that, we have the New Republic era. So that's Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Ahsoka.
So the Age of Rebellion goes through Episode 9.
No. 4, 5, and 6. Age of Rebellion.
Oh, okay.
Rebellion, because
the rebels, the rebels win.
There's no
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, there's no rebellion after that.
And then it does Mandalorian.
Yeah, and that's the New Republic. So the Republic's reformed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Speaking
that's
of
Mandalorian.
Speaking of New Republic, I was kind of disappointed that they canceled that show, Rangers of the New Republic.
Well, yeah. Because
too much Star Wars going on.
Yeah, Gino Carano was probably the one thing that everybody was excited about. Those dumbasses canceled her because they're dumb, and then and then nobody had interest in the show after that.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've got the current Filoniverse, and then after all the Filoniverse, so that's not Rebels. Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, which is Mandalorian, Ahsoka.
Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
And then where does Ahsoka take
Resistance? What do you mean?
Ahsoka's still in New Republic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ahsoka's after Book of Boba Fett, right?
Yeah. And it's setting up kind of into that. The next era is called the Rise of the First Order.
Right, which is Resistance 7, 8, 9.
Right.
Yeah.
And then who knows what happens after that?
Right.
Correct.
Which is all part of the Skywalker saga.
Vaughn.
One big thing.
Yeah.
Skywalker saga, right? Is that what they call it now?
Well, all 9 movies are the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I think they should go outside of that, but whatever. I don't think they will.
Well,
right
that's
now.
why they got the New Republic. They got stuff coming out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's another piece of history that I want to talk
I think
about.
they officially signed Daisy
Daisy
Ridley,
Ridley?
to some new movies, which I'm hoping they're going to finally start building up. Because oh god, it still pisses me off.
I don't
7,
like
8,
her.
and 9 should have been. There should have been a Jedi
Ugh.
Order at that point, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Look,
So,
in episode 8 makes no sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense to anybody. It was a
the
flop.
whole that'll make sense. There's all we're going to get into it now. And on the official timeline, there is a spot after Rise of the First Order called the New Jedi Order, and there's nothing in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about the Lego episode? There's a Lego Christmas episode where
I don't think that's canon. I don't think anything Lego is canon.
Okay, because that Lego episode, it's right after episode 9, clearly, because she has her yellow lightsaber.
Yeah, I don't think it's canon. I think that's the Lego verse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lego verse is different. So,
so nothing in the New Jedi Order, and there's also nothing in the very first Order, which is the Old Republic. We haven't seen anything in the Old Republic yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for, no, that's High Republic. It's Young
in
Jedi.
the High Republic. The Acolyte, the new show is going to be set in the High Republic, but nothing in the Old Republic.
Yeah, Old Republic would be your, oh my gosh, KOTOR.
Darth Revan.
Revan.
Well, I think it's the Old Republic's like even before the Jedi Sith
Lords
splits.
So, well,
oh, you're thinking that's what they mean? Old Republic is before, like back when it was still the Jedi versus the Jedi.
So yeah, in the Old Republic, it officially states the Republic is founded among the worlds of the galactic core, and the Jedi Order emerges to protect it. A schism within the Jedi leads to the creation of the Sith in this era.
ooh, that'd be interesting.
Sith already existed, but they were a specific race of people.
But didn't the Mandalore War take place in the Old Republic?
I think
Mandalorian War? Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think it's like the Old Republic. I think that time span is like 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Mandalore War is canon. It was mentioned in Rebels when he's training Sabine, and he talks about the Mandalore War and how this is why the Mandalorians lost.
Yeah, and even in like the Mandalorian, like they talk about the old lore.
Revan's
riding the mythosaurs and things.
Okay,
Revan's canon.
So,
speaking of Mandalore, there's a particular item. See, my train of thought in this item is weird. So the Darksaber, the timeline of the Darksaber, because it's all within what we're talking about. It's all within this timeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but the Darksaber created, I think, in like the Old Republic.
Well, yeah, but here, as far as like we're gonna talk about possession, as far as who owns it, right? So correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, you first see it with Pre Vizsla in Death Watch.
Yeah,
Darth Maul challenges him
and
loses, so Darth Maul gets possession of the Darksaber.
Yeah,
right. So from there, blah 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 blah. The next person who gets it is Sabine, because she defeated Darth Maul. Right?
No, it was gifted to her, which was the problem.
Well, see, here's the thing. Who defeated Darth Maul, but never took the Darksaber? Sidious.
Yeah, see, we don't see that.
That'd be Ahsoka, but
Sidious defeated him.
Oh yeah,
Sidious.
But he didn't have the Darksaber, did he?
He did. He took out the Darksaber and fought him and still lost. So technically, but Sidious didn't take the Darksaber because he didn't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going by the combat rules, the saber belongs to Sidious this entire time, Palpatine.
Yeah.
So anyone who's got it after that is cursed. So technically, the rightful owner of the Darksaber is Anakin Skywalker.
No, Anakin didn't defeat Palpatine.
Yes, he did.
He yeeted him off a ledge.
Oh, that's right. He known that
Vader killed Palpatine.
Anakin Skywalker.
At that point,
Vader,
the moment that he decided to kill Palpatine, it was no longer Vader.
But then he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, if he dies and Palpatine still lives, so that means Palpatine killed him again, and therefore Palpatine never really died, according to the, the episode 9.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if
So
we're going to go very
is
specifically, yes, he would have it.
Is
But
Rey the owner of the Darksaber? That's my question. Is Rey the owner of the Darksaber technically?
yeah, she could be.
No, because it was never fought for combat to get it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
just whoever wins, as long as you win in combat, you're not cursed to get it. But no, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's a flaw they didn't do. They just didn't. If you're doing by combat, Palpatine was a true owner until Rey defeated him. But he never took it. So then Sabine found it in Dathomir, and then trained with it, and then gifted it to Bo-Katan, and then Bo-Katan lost it to Moff Gideon. Blah blah blah. We know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I mean, we never see Moff Gideon like win it, do we? He just shows up with it, Mandalorian.
He just shows up with it, but it's implied that he won it from her because the way he looks at her, Bo-Katan Kraz, whatever her name is, the way she,
I don't think he necessarily won it from her. I think he just knows it's something she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was the last one to have it.
No,
because no, she gave it to
last time we saw it was
Sabine gave it to her brother. It was passed on to her brother, and then I think, and that's why Mandalore went to ruin, because there was a prophecy. Because when the brother passed away, he passed it on to Bo-Katan without winning it in combat, and that was what caused the ruin of Mandalore. Because that's why people blame her, because she didn't actually win the Darksaber, so she wasn't the actual leader of.
Yeah.
See, I didn't think the Darksaber was in play that whole time. I think that's the whole point, was like, you're not the real leader because you don't have the Darksaber.
Right.
It was missing. So I think it's Palpatine kills Maul with it. It just goes missing. It probably shows up in some Imperial Stockholm, and that's where Moff Gideon gets it, as an Imperial remnant.
No, because Darth Sidious didn't take it. Because Sabine found it
on an imperially controlled planet.
Right.
It's within the realm of possibility that the Empire took possession of it, not Sidious directly.
The Empire took possession of it after they invaded Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But still, it's just one of those weird things, you know. Another thing too, like I wish they would just redo some of the stuff, like episode 6. They redid Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader, and they made him Hayden Christensen at the end, which was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to redo some stuff, because you know, like there's no mention of any of these characters in episode 2 or 3, especially 3. Ahsoka had already left the Jedi Order, but yet there was one of the things that was Anakin was attached to, but yet no talk about it.
Yeah,
doesn't even dream about it.
So, I mean, that's the I just think that's the error of episode 3, was that the Clone Wars didn't exist yet.
Yeah, they had the micro series which was coming out, but I never watched that. Was that any good?
It was fun.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, just chaos, big explosions.
Yeah. So the episode 3 just doesn't feel right after putting all the Clone Wars stuff in there.
It doesn't.
No.
So
it does feel better though if you read the books versus just watch the show.
Yeah, we're not getting into that though.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying for anybody watching or for you all, like if you read the books, it has more context. It makes the story feel better because let's face it, episode 2, I mean, really the trilogy wasn't exactly the best set of movies to ever be released. But if you actually go in and read the books first and then just watch the movies as like a supplement to kind of like get an idea of what's going on in their heads at certain scenes, it makes you appreciate the movies more.
Yeah, it's true. Now, okay. Why don't we talk, let's hit this let's go with each movie trilogy, and then which one we think is the best of that trilogy and why. So go with the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, the prequel trilogy, that's one, it's like...
Yeah.
I wish I had the power to like just go back and like I want to wipe all the movies and just remake them.
Yeah.
My favorite of the prequel trilogy is Attack of the Clones.
Really?
So I like the build up to it. Like, even though Hayden Christensen is a terrible, terrible actor.
He's not a terrible
his acting
actor. It just
I think
he had terrible direction.
He had a bad script.
That's what I was gonna say. Like his script was it was just that good. But besides that, what I did like, why would that one my favorite was because first off, you really see the rise of Darth Vader right there. Like you can see his attachment just go to the next level as far as that goes. You know, Padme, which is like, you know, should have been like, well, I don't know why she fell in love with him. Like, there's red flags all over the place.
Yeah.
So, and then it's got the, you know, the epic fight with them and Count Dooku. Count Dooku pretty much took on 3 Jedi in one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he kind of cheated with Yoda, but still took. I mean,
Yeah.
he still took him on and was able to escape from Yoda, which is pretty impressive. So, and not to mention that I think Count Dooku's lightsaber is sexy.
Oh, yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, they're dueling sabers.
That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
I actually own it too, which is my awesome wife got me Count Dooku's official lightsaber from the Disney store. So yeah, it's so cool.
See, I think I have a hot take on this one. So I think my favorite of the 3 is Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
That is a really hot take.
Yeah.
I think that one's good. I mean,
So hear me out. It's the only Star Wars show we see that you get to see like before Star Wars. You get to see those little hints of like the High Republic. Like this is just like right at the start where the Jedi's falling. You know, Sidious his plan's not fully in motion yet. It's just starting. It's the very tip of the iceberg. So you get to see that kind of the before times. You get to see how things used to be, and it's kind of one of those like eye openers. You're like, man, look how far the stuff has changed between Episode 1 and the original trilogies 4, 5, and 6. It's like, look what's like how far they've fallen down into this, you know. So it was just Star Wars without the rest of the story. It was kind of nice.
It was, yeah, I agree. And I think Darth Maul was pretty. I mean, I thought Darth Maul when I first saw him, I was like, dude, this guy's badass. I loved him.
Yeah, he's a good good visual bad guy.
I don't think he was good enough to kill Qui-Gon, but that was just bad writing, I think. So Qui-Gon was just tired.
Yeah, old and tired.
Yeah, we didn't know enough about Qui-Gon to know how good he was. He's just an average Jedi.
But he was Count Dooku's apprentice. There's no way he was that bad. Count Dooku was a badass. Why couldn't Qui-Gon?
Count Dooku at some point in time. We didn't know who Dooku was.
Yeah, but we also know that he didn't, agree with Dooku's like style choices. You know, with Dooku studying more lightsaber dueling. You know, that's where Dooku fell out of grace in the Jedi because he specifically said, "I'm going to study how to counter lightsabers." And they're like, why? There's no Sith. They're like, no. And so they're like, well, the only people you can use against is Jedi. So that's a little sus, as the kids would say.
Yep.
Sus.
So, Qui-Gon was like, no, I'm not learning this anti-lightsaber combat. Why would I?
Yeah.
So you could see there's precedence there for it to make sense.
Like, I also don't think, I don't know. In Episode 3, the very beginning, I don't agree with how Dooku went down. I don't think, they just wanted to play up Anakin, make him powerful. But
yeah,
it makes more sense if you watch all the Clone Wars because you're like, oh, okay, no, Anakin was pretty boss.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get why they did it. I mean, Anakin was pretty good as a one of the best sword fighters they had besides Dooku.
Yeah. I would say though, my favorite episode was Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. You know, just seeing
3.
We hit all 3.
I would say specifically just because you see the actual downfall of the Empire. I mean, of the Republic. You see everything, throughout the movies, and again, get in the books too. Just seeing how their hubris and the corruption is what really led to the downfall and the opening, the opening that Sidious needed to be able to take supreme power, unlimited power.
I really like between those movies. I really love the banter between Anakin and Sidious Palpatine. It's just like you can just see Palpatine just pulling the strings. Like he's sitting there looking at Dooku. Do it.
Some might say it might be a little unnatural.
Yeah. like Palpatine is just brilliant.
Oh yeah.
You know.
No, I mean it's one of those. Like I said, were the movies written the best? No, but when you start understanding the story and what they were trying to tell, and you kind of look past the bad writing, like, oh man, it's so compelling. You know, of course, I always make the joke of, it's like, man, why would anybody vote for more government power? And after you watch Star Wars, it's like, no, get get power out of government, hands, because people can be corrupt. People can sell off your best interest. Like, I'm not saying go full libertarian or anarchy or something, but no, it's do not centralize your power. That's how the Star Wars happens.
Now I do have to say, out of all of those characters, like, I know it's a little bit of books, and we're not. We'll just mention something. Jar Jar Binks, like, he got the shaft.
Oh yeah,
because he was just easily molded and easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was in the aftermath book. You know, it tells you the fate of Jar Jar Binks. He goes back to Naboo, lives on the streets, trying to sell some shit, and he's like a performer, but people hate him.
Yep,
because they blame him. Yeah, kids love him, but they blame him.
Yeah, because he called for the vote.
He called for the vote to grant the Chancellor emergency powers to get the clones.
Yep, and it was because of him. Democracy died in thunderous applause.
So, all right, so let's see. Sequel trilogy. No, not sequel trilogy.
But they did
original trilogy
best about, completely bringing, I guess they did the actor the most justice, bringing him back on The Mandalorian. And he was also a Jedi in it started off as a TV show, like game show host for kids. And then they went ahead and brought him back actually in some of the flashback scenes of The Mandalorian saving.
Yeah.
So that was cool seeing. I forgot his name, but it's cool seeing that Disney did him justice after
right.
The public screwed him over so bad.
Yeah, it's like, you, the actor, we know you did Jar Jar Binks. We're gonna make you like a canon Jedi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dual wield and
original
everything.
Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
The best one of that one.
Empire.
I'm gonna say Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. It's a good one. So that's kind of a hard one because all three of those were really good, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they're all really good. But see, what I like about Episode 6 is just the whole thing. Like, at this point, the Jedi have disappeared. No one really, what's a Jedi? And then you just see Luke come back, and he's just badass. Comes in, except when he's going to rescue Leia and Han Solo, and he's in his full-on black suit. And what's that snake's name? Bib Fortuna, something like that.
Yeah, the Twi'lek.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he's just like, "You will let me in." It was just super cool, and you get to see that. You get to see how how powerful Luke has become. That's a movie I wish they would redo, because the way they did lightsaber fights in their prequel trilogy versus the original was very different. The original trilogy was more
kendo.
It was a British fencing style that they did, so that's why it was kind of very, very much fencing type deal, but it was still cool.
I really wish they would put in that scene. So before Luke goes to Jabba's palace, he builds a new lightsaber, and I really wish they would have included that.
Oh yeah,
They removed that. I'm like, oh, it's such a bummer.
So
let's see. All right, my favorite is will be different. It's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So episode 5.
That one is up there. That one's good.
So mainly just my reasoning is, as a kid, Hoth. I would rewind and watch the Hoth fights with the AT-AT walkers over and over. I love those scenes. I love those walkers so much. They were just so striking and iconic. Like, it's still my favorite Star Wars vehicle to this date, or the AT-ATs.
Oh,
yeah. No, I agree.
But also, it's like, so the iconic Hoth scene, and then all of just the
Battle
Yoda,
of Endor,
the Yoda training. Like, I loved all of that. So
speaking of
all
Yoda training,
all the Dagobah stuff, fantastic. Like, yeah. So It's definitely Empire Strikes Back.
I think it was
Did
these
you
Star
ever-
Wars movies that make Star Wars movies.
Do you ever watch the Bap lip syncing where they're doing the training? He has Yoda on the back and there's like pigeons or whatever. Like
Seagulls,
Yeah.
stop it now.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, no, I would say, yeah, Empire, just because one,
Ooh,
you
to
get,
Empire.
yeah, you get all the different sceneries, the different planets. I would say it has the best moment in cinematic music history, the asteroid theme. Ba, ba, da, bum, ba, da, ba, 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 da, 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 ba, da. I don't just, oh man, it gives me goosebumps every single time I've seen it. I've seen it as
And also Empire Strikes Back has that one line misquoted so much. Everyone thinks, "Oh, what's your favorite quote from Star Wars?" Luke, I am your father.
No.
He never says that.
No. Well, my favorite one is, I love you. I know. No, but I've seen that in at the what do you call that place? At the Fox Theater here, the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra played while I was watching the movie. Oh man, it was so good, especially during the asteroid field theme. But yeah, no, I think it's got the best settings. I think it has the best story. I think it, I don't know if it necessarily has the best acting or not, but I think it's just great, compelling story. I think it was definitely. I'm not sure if it was necessarily the best lightsaber scene in the trilogy, but I think it was probably. I think it was probably the best. In my opinion, it was my favorite lightsaber duel in the trilogy.
It has the most iconic scenes too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've got, Han frozen in carbonite. It's the introduction of Boba Fett. It's, Luke getting his hand cut off.
Cloud City was cool, Lando.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why a lot of people like Empire Strike. Like I said, Return of the Jedi and Empire Strike is just super close for me, But Return of the Jedi is just, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
just
going back
different.
to the music, you've got Yoda's theme. Yoda's theme's good too, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Return of the Jedi, you get the whole final starship battle, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
You get to see the B-Wings for the first. I think the B-Wings show up for the first time in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sequel
favorite ship
trilogy.
is the B-Wing.
B-Wing?
B-Wing's my favorite ship, yeah.
Mine's the Ghost, but that's besides the point. We should talk about ships one day. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Vehicles, ships, yeah.
The sequel trilogy.
So we could loop that in with the video games.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we all agree on the sequel trilogy.
First one was the best one.
Yeah, the best one, hands down, was Episode 7.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's potential still. When it ended, you're like, okay, cool stuff's gonna happen, and then stupid shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, Episode 7. Just first off, what I liked, it took the formula that worked and did it 2 times bigger.
Copy and paste it. Just everything.
It was just good.
Everything on Viagra.
J.J. Abrams he hit a home run with it, and it is the best-selling Star Wars movie of all time.
I would say in the park home run. Let's not give him a grand slam or anything like that. But in the park home run.
The next 2 runs definitely got outs. They didn't make it to base.
Episode 8 was not J.J. Abrams. It was Rian Johnson.
No, the whole sequel trilogy was doomed. Everyone had a different director, didn't they?
No, it circled back to JJ at the end.
Yeah, JJ
was trying to.
Even he couldn't save it at that point.
No,
he had a different vision in mind. I think they went with him because he was doing something else. Can't remember. They recast him or went with a different director because he was filming something else. I can't remember what it was. So, but
all 3 movies have like striking scenes that are cool as just a scene void of all the rest of the story.
Yeah, like Episode 8, that throne room scene was good.
Throne room scene was good.
Oh, yeah.
I love the visuals of the hyperspeed ram.
Yeah.
I think the concept of the hyperspeed ram is stupid
awesome.
and undermines all. It's stupid and undermines all of Star Wars.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of the Death Star if you could just
right? If you can just freaking strap a hyperdrive to an asteroid, just huck it at it. Like, why don't you just do that 4 movies ago?
Which technically
we've been done.
Do that in a book, but it's a little different, so it makes sense. But
yeah, if you could sacrifice a single capital ship to get rid of Death Star, you just would.
Yeah.
You wouldn't risk your entire fleet when you could just huck one ship at it.
I would say the fight between Luke and Kylo was probably one of my all-time favorite fights.
Yes.
That was cool because it's just force projection, and that's not really seen too often.
Yeah, no, it's the fact that he won a completely different battle. Same reason why I love the battle between Obi-Wan and
Vader.
No, not Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Maul.
Yeah, and Rebels.
Oh, that fight is legendary.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So they,
obviously
they're one was astral projection, the other one both people were there, but it wasn't a fight of, hey, I'm swinging a sword around and trying to kill you with it. It was a fight. It was a fight of wits and mastery of the Force, and
yeah. I love in that fight with Maul. I love the fact that he starts off in Form 3, his fighting style, and then like Maul busts out both lightsabers, and then he just busts out Qui-Gon's fighting style. And Maul realizes that and attacks him the same way he attacked Qui-Gon, but he's like, no, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan just kicked his ass using it was perfect. So now, we'll finish with this. You guys seen you've seen everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If they had gone with Thrawn's idea of the TIE Defenders versus the Death Star, obviously they want the Death Star because the Phoenix Squadron destroyed the factory that produced the TIE Defenders. But let's say that they had failed.
Advanced?
Huh?
The TIE Advanced?
No, not the TIE Advanced. It was a TIE Defender.
The Y ones, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They originally chose Thrawn's
shields.
idea. Right. They chose Thrawn's idea over the Death Star. Over what was his name?
Tarkin?
The guy from Rogue One?
Tarkin? Oh, no.
Not
Krennic.
Tarkin. Krennic.
Yeah, no.
Krennic, yeah.
Krennic, yeah.
He's mentioned in that, and they chose Thrawn's. Had the Phoenix Squadron failed on that assault on Lothal and not destroyed the factory that housed the TIE Defenders, do you think the tides of war would have gone in a different direction?
I think if Thrawn would have had more control, I think, because it was a combination of, as always, large centralized, organizations with a lot of corruption and everything, with their resources going to places where they shouldn't have been going. That and just the superior ability, intellect and training, and then the better resource management of Thrawn. Yeah, no, they definitely would have won if they would have gotten a few. I wouldn't say if just Thrawn had his one facility. I think if they would have switched from the TIE Fighter to the TIE Defender, I think that would have changed everything.
Yeah. So,
or at least both. Like the Defender is a good idea, and they just
I think the Defender. The reason why I think the Defender would have changed the tide of war.
Well, hit run
was because it wasn't built
shield
with that.
Generators. Yeah,
it wasn't built with a weakness. The Death Star was. Krennic's mistake was having Jen Erso's dad go in there, Erso, and he was against it, so he built it with that flaw. So, but at the same time, too, that flaw was just to make the mistake of, it got destroyed so easily, so they kind of, put the flaw in there. But
yeah,
it's whatever. It's cool.
He sabotaged it. It's cool.
It's cool. I like it. I can't say anything about Rogue One. Best movie of all the movies of the. Well, they only did 2 movies, right? The side stories. Oh yeah, Rogue
just
One.
Solo and Rogue One.
Rogue One. Rogue One is like
Rogue One's fantastic.
Rogue
One was better than.
Yeah.
Of
all the new movies, Rogue One trumps all of them. I might be a hot take. I think Rogue One was better than the prequel trilogy. It was good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
objectively, if you're talking about overall cinematography, writing, everything, yeah. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say the story was as compelling, but at the same time, we kind of knew how everything
yeah.
was going to end, so maybe that kind of is a little
Well,
bias on that. But yeah,
some of the things I like what they did in the Rebels and Rogue One, and they did in the Obi-Wan too, just how terrifying Darth Vader was.
oh yeah,
They just did it perfect, you know.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they kept his movement, everything the same.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
they nailed. Rogue One was fantastic.
yeah, at the very
You
end
know,
when Vader comes out, it's just like, oh my god, and you just see him just brutally murder people like it nothing.
They need more
Mhm.
Vader content. You know, the Obi-Wan show. I wouldn't say the entire show, but specifically when he was going around and just like murdering people in that town.
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect
and
Vader.
like when he fought that girl, he didn't even bust out his lightsaber. He's like, you're not even worth my time with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
She had it. And he was just like Force doing everything with the Force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know if it was for the sake of the show, but I don't think Obi-Wan could have won that fight. He was 2 out of 2 on the Force, and you know, Darth Vader had perfected his Force.
Yeah,
You know,
that's Vader in his prime there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't think Obi-Wan could have won like he did, but it is what it is. So, but it was also right. It was also they were trying to write it to counterattack because in episode 4 they mentioned the Clone Wars, and then they mention, you know, he says, "Oh yeah, Darth Vader killed your father," which goes back to that thing. He's like, "I killed Anakin Skywalker. I'm Darth Vader," kind of thing. So
cheesy, but whatever.
Yeah.
I just like how they connect everything.
Yeah,
That's what I like about the movies, and you know, like Rebels when they tell you about Krennic and Saul Guerrera. So and who and then Clone Wars was the whole thing with Saul Guerrera. There's just that's what the cool thing about the timeline right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's all within the Skywalker saga, essentially. In between,
Yeah.
it tells you that it connects all the dots, which is cool. You may not see it in the movies or reflect it, but it connects the dots for the most part.
Oh yeah.
So how would you fix the Star Wars shows, like mainly the sequels? What would you do different?
The sequel trilogy.
I know what I would do. Yes.
Retcon the entire thing.
I would like. First off,
you can retcon them. You can whole new story, anything.
I mean, I would just go with a different. First, I would keep episode 7. I think episode 7 set a good for it. I mean, the first order was cool. I like what they did with Kylo Ren. I think that was cool. Now the second one you would retcon completely. I think with that one they should, they should have gone more into detail, but the Knights of Ren, and really shown, and then have like Luke still isolated a little bit there, but like just have more like actually make Snoke valuable. So
I just posted a video for you guys to watch. Like next time you guys are like either driving or laying in bed or whatever the scenario is. I think this guy does a great breakdown, and I would love to see some of these scenes pop up.
Yeah, I have to watch. Yeah, my biggest issue with the sequel trilogy is also it's like the New Order is just there. You don't see kind of where they came from, and you like how did the Republic, how did everybody just let this happen? It's just like, oh hey, we're here now.
And there's a little bit of information, like there's that Leia book that kind of alludes to it, but it's nothing.
I didn't like it.
But ultimately,
here's my pitch.
Boom, just pops right up. That's it. Yeah. It's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. So here's my pitch. If just retcon all 3 movies. We should have done all of this TV cinematic universe first.
Yeah.
And then the sequel trilogy should have been the finale of Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been Thrawn coming back, Thrawn starting the New Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, you can even get like Ezra Bridger back teaming up with Luke, and Luke passing the torch to Ezra.
Yeah.
Right. But you still have to have Kylo Ren. obviously Han Solo and
You could do that,
Yeah.
but that's going to be probably right before or right after they do the whole.
See,
Yuuzhan
here's the other
Vong
thing, too.
trilogy.
You
I
can get,
think,
you can get Kylo Ren hooking up with, he could have been. You can easily get him in there with Thrawn.
yeah,
when he
and I
comes
think
back.
they should have. What it should have been is because once again you're gonna get in the books. Sorry, but like Han Solo and Leia's kid does go to the dark side. Because they have the twins, Jason and Jaina Solo, and Jason does go to the dark side.
Mhm.
So that was kind of the thing with Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. He did go to the dark side. So if you're retconning the whole thing, I think Episode 7 should have seen an established Jedi Order with Luke at its head and Leia by his side.
Yeah, 100%. No matter what, the new trilogy, or the sequel trilogy, should have had a fully established new Jedi Order, but they fucked that
Because
up.
like the thing is, like you see in Episode 7 and 8, you see Leia as this great general, right? This general. And all of a sudden in 7, she just force pushes herself toward it. And then Episode 9, then also in Episode 9, it starts flat. I'm actually a Jedi. I just did it. I could have been a Jedi, but I didn't. I decided not to. Let me train you, Rey. What?
Yeah.
They should have had, Leia establish the Jedi Order with Luke, and they still could have had maybe Ben would have been their first. Ben Solo would have been their first thing with the Knights of Ren or the other Jedi, and then Ben goes bad and kills everybody. They could have still had that, but they would still have. But then it would explain Leia even more.
Yeah.
Makes significance to her lightsaber. Makes significance to her actually training Rey to be a Jedi. So.
Again,
and retcon Rey.
We don't need Rey. It's like all this talk about
Rey.
We don't need Rey.
I mean,
no, get rid of Rey.
We could have even had Rey. It's just we needed Rey should have been a side character, or maybe a younger person to move on the next trilogy of movies.
When it said Rise of Skywalker, I was thinking, oh, okay, Kylo Ren is going to take its rightful heir as the Skywalker heir and kill Palpatine. That would have been the Rise of Skywalker.
Well, I was hoping that they were going to be bringing something Thrawn, because so in the Thrawn trilogy, or the Thrawn books, at least the new ones, they're young Chiss hyperspace pilots they call Skywalkers. I'm like, ooh. Are they going to bring Thrawn in? Is there going to be something Thrawn related in this movie? Nope, nothing.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, obviously, I don't know if you watched the ending of Episode 9. I watched that part where she, defeats Palpatine, which is stupid.
Yeah.
I watched that a few times, not for the sake of the fight. I was just sitting there wanting to hear the voices. If you listen closely, you hear Qui-Gon, you hear Kanan Jarrus, you hear Obi-Wan, you hear Ahsoka Tano, you hear a bunch of others, and I've heard the voices enough where I can distinguish Ashley Eckstein, because that's who did the voice of it in that as well. But it's implying that all of them are dead.
Yeah. To be determined. We'll see.
Yeah, and they're also, I didn't like the fact that Episode 9 at the end made it like, it kind of reminded me of Avatar. I don't know if you watched Korra, The Last Airbender, or not The Last Korra, The Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Wrong show. You watched Legend of Korra?
Mm-hmm.
You remember season 2, the spirits? It was the light Avatar and dark Avatar.
Yeah.
That's how I felt that thing was. It was just like, oh, now since you're the last 2 remaining people, he's the last person on the dark side, she's the last person on the light side. She now has all the power of the previous Jedi Knights imbued in her, and he's got the power of all the Sith before him.
I mean, I went last. There could only be one Highlander, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't. That had never been implied until that right there, which was stupid.
Yeah, I think it's a stupid concept, and they should.
There's a lot of stupid.
Boo! You should feel bad for yourself.
The only thing they did right in that, but it's not officially canon, was Palpatine's cloning. Him coming back,
Yeah, totally
makes
fine.
sense.
There's totally books about it.
Yeah.
Like they could have
There's
totally
books
done
about it. Yeah. Not only that, in Mandalorian too.
it. Which
Yeah,
they set
they're,
up the
they're
cloning
really
in
trying
Mandalorian, which is
to
fine.
bring up Project Necromancer in the Bad Batch. So yeah, they're
okay.
trying to get the whole clone
Yeah.
thing going.
Look, all they gotta do is just retcon one book legend, one legend book, and make it an actual canon. Retcon it as legend, and everything will make more sense. And that's the book Darth Plagueis. So,
Yeah.
if they made that one canon,
Luckily, there's nothing in that book that makes it non-canon at this point in time.
right? Because everything that leads up to it, everything that you see leads up to everything, like Sidious, he in episode 3 he talks about, like, yeah, I learned everything from my master. When he's talking about Darth Plagueis the Wise, so yeah, he learns everything. But anyways, so we can talk forever about this. Let's just we'll continue on this conversation.
Nope, all
Maybe
month.
next week we'll talk about books versus best Jedi, best Sith. We have an opinion on that.
Maybe.
So
Yeah, we'll
I also want to talk about Visions. Let's hit Star Wars Visions. I think that'd be a good thing to talk about too next week.
okay.
So look forward to it. We got plenty to talk about. We've established the actual timeline. So
plenty of Star Wars.
I just want to
More
let you
Star
know.
Wars than sponsor at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say this episode was brought to you by Dubby though. So Dubby is our energy drink, the official energy drink of the nerdy phase.
Yeah, my cup's in the dishwasher right now. Which they're dishwasher
so
safe,
is mine.
so there's that.
Yeah. So just use promo code SURGE at Dubby, and you get 10% off your next purchase.
Woo-woo.
So
Get the hydration stuff. It's delicious. I need to get more myself.
I expect a Star Wars shirt from each one of you every day, every episode this month.
Oh yeah, no, I've got you on that one.
You get the background. That's what you get.
So I want a Star Wars shirt.
I'm hoping to have a hat by next time. Other than my
I have a hat.
Other than my Disney hat.
But anyway, until next time, do we say may the Force be with you?
Yeah, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
All right, may the Fourth be with you. Revenge the Fifth. Deuces.
Bye.